All right, good morning everyone. I just went and picked up some cash because I'm headed to a local comic show. We'll see if I'm going to get anything this morning. I have no idea, I've never been to this one before. And so, yeah, let's go check it out. Let's see if I get anything. Right, so it was a successful show. I picked up 4 books, super happy about the ones that I got. And so yeah, and when I get back home, I'll film the follow-up. We'll check out those books. All right, so we are back from the convention. Let's check out these books. Before we do that, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So if you saw the thumbnail, I said I picked up $1,800 in books. It's actually about $1,860 in books. It's just that 1,800 rolls off the tongue a little bit better. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I ended up picking up 5 books. I think I corrected myself in my little clip in the car that I shot. So this is a local convention. This is one that happens every month in my area, and which is really nice because a lot of times you might have to wait multiple months between being able to go to something like convention. I'm not normally a person that goes out to physical conventions to purchase books. I usually like to buy online, that kind of thing. But I wanted to check this one out. It was close enough that I felt like it was worthwhile to check it out. If you watch Longbox Love Affairs channel, he talks about this convention. He goes to it fairly regularly. He actually didn't make it to this one. I had messaged him afterwards and he said this is one of the first times he hadn't gone to the show. So I didn't get to see him or meet up with him at this one. But if you saw from the little bit of walkthrough footage, basically the way this convention is set up is it's like half the room is cards and half the room is comics. There's a little bit of mix in some places, but that's generally how it is. I would say there were probably something like maybe like 12 vendors, maybe a little more than that, 12 to 14 comic vendors, and then the same amount on the card side. And for me, for a monthly show, that seems pretty good. And I was actually really surprised that there was a solid mix of books there. I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, if it was going to be mostly modern or bronze, silver, if there's going to be much Golden Age at all, because, I'm really into the Golden Age stuff, but I was pleasantly surprised with what was there. And like I said, I had a lot of fun talking with people there. There's actually one guy that I kept running into at the same booths, and we ended up talking quite a bit just throughout the show as we were, kind of going through bins, looking at wall books, all that kind of stuff. So let's get into these books. So like I said, I picked up 5 books, spent $1,860. I'll start with the first vendor that I had gone to, and I wish I would have written their name down. It's probably in the footage somewhere. It was one of the ones near the end where I flipped over to the right side. But everything at their booth was 50% off. And so I was just going through their bins. I wanted to see like what kind of stuff was in there because they had a lot of kind of like Golden Age type stuff. They had some pulps, all that kind of thing, a lot of magazines in these bins. And so I ended up picking up 2 books. The first one, let's start with this one. First one was this, which was Captain Marvel Jr. number 19. And this one was marked at 60 bucks. So it was only $30. Like this is, this is a World War II, you got the Nazi World War II cover. You've got the swastika on there. You've got Captain Marvel Jr. riding this bomb down into one of their, factories that they're going to bomb out. And, for 30 bucks, I felt like this was just a total steal. I'll show this one a little bit. It's in rough shape. I think the spine is completely split. It's been reattached with tape. And you can see there's like a little bit, there's like paper loss up here, but still, I did confirm this is the correct back cover. That was one thing I'm always worried about when I've got like a split spine, but it is the correct back cover. And if you're not familiar with Captain Marvel Jr., one of his main villains is this guy named Captain Nazi. And so here's that guy. Oh, finger right there. And so, yeah, I mean, just a pretty crazy book to find for 30 bucks. I was super happy with that. And I checked, I did the page, I didn't do the page count there. I mean, for $30, I didn't care. I did the page count at home. All the pages are here. And just kind of like, if you get an idea of just some of the interior art that's here. But yeah, I thought this one might have been my, like, the best deal that I came across. I mean, I don't know exactly where I'd value this one. Probably somewhere in the $150 to $200 range is kind of where I'd probably put this book. So for $30, I was very happy with that. I don't know if I'll get it graded. I probably won't get it graded. But this is one that I wouldn't bother getting pressed or cleaned beforehand, just because the split spine, missing pieces, that kind of stuff. It would probably come back like a 1.8 or 1.5. But then the next one, it picked up from that same booth. This one I probably should have taken out of the bag, but I'm still happy with the purchase. This was Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, and this is Volume 3, Number 4. And so if you're not familiar with these, you do sometimes get the number up here in the corner where it actually gives you, it is issue 28. They don't always have that though. And so the way they do this is that each volume is 12 issues. And so volume 1 would have been 12 issues, volume 2 would have been 12 issues, and then volume 3 were in the 4th issue. So that's 12 plus 12 plus 4 gets you to 28. So this is issue 28. I just thought this was, I mean, really, really nice colors on this copy. I mean, this is 1943. This is January of 1943. You've got, it's the new year. You've got Donald Duck as 1942 and Huey, Dewey, and Louie as, you know, 1943 coming out of the clock. And so from the front, looks really, really nice. I mean, you've got a couple little chips, but still, I mean, if this was just the front cover, this is probably say it was like a 5.0, maybe a 5.5, could even do a little better. Because I mean, little chips like that really don't hurt the grade too much. And I mean, if you look, there are a couple of these online, and a lot of them are really beat up. This one presents really well, but I did not take this one out of the bag, which I should have, but still happy with it. And it's complete. I did do the page count afterwards, but there's a pretty large stain on the back here, kind of in this upper corner, which is unfortunate. You know, that makes it where, like, I mean, like, check out this. I mean, this is super nice. This is 1943. But it goes from something that I probably would get graded, and goes from something that would probably come back at least in the 5s, if not better, to, with this on the back, comes back probably a 2.5 or a 3. You know, maybe I get lucky and get a 3.5. It might be worth sending out. Just, we'll see, but probably not. And so this one was marked at 160, and so half off was 80, and I'm still happy with that, because even at the lower grade with the stain, I would easily put that as a $120 to $140 book, and maybe a little bit higher. I'll have to think about the grading. There are some that are priced pretty high. I think like a 3.5 or something like that was priced kind of high on eBay, but I don't know if they would, if I would think it would get that type of price. So, but yeah, I was a little sad. I was a little sad to see that stain on the back, but it's okay. Now, actually the first, let's see what I'm gonna do. The first book, I'll do this one next. The first book that I bought, I did a full kind of like walk through the convention, checked out all the vendors, you know, talked to a few people, checked out some wall books, that kind of thing. But the first book I ended up buying, this one caught my eye. So this is, you know, like I've been big into pre-code horror for a little while now. This was Crime Suspense Stories number 16. I am very excited about this copy of this book. I have a lower grade copy that, it's still pretty nice. I don't remember what I had graded at, maybe like a 4 or 5 or something like that. This is, I would say this is comfortably a 7. I wouldn't be shocked if it got an 8. I mean, this is a very, very nice copy. It is, I mean, it's a tight copy. Like, let's see if I can get the, you know, it's got maybe like 15 or so, or maybe not even 15, maybe like 12 light spine ticks. And then there's, you know, just a little bit of that kind of like, little bit of wear along the bottom where you just see these tiny little color breaks. Let's see, kind of little color breaks along the bottom there. But man, this is a nice copy of this book. Yeah, I am super happy with this one. So with this one, I definitely, you know, I asked if I could see it out of the bag. He took it out. He handed me the book. He let me flip through it. I asked what his store name was. He didn't have. He was just basically like a local collector that comes to the show and buys and sells books. So I can't really tell you about his store or anything. But he didn't have a grade on it. He had it at $750. I offered $650. He came back at $700, and we made a deal. So I picked this one up for $700. I'll be super happy if it comes back as a 7 or higher. It looks like it might be white pages as well. Page quality is really, really nice on this copy. I did do a flip through of the whole book. I checked make sure all the pages are there, attached to the centerfold, all of that. So this is one of these kind of like classic Johnny Craig covers. The big ones are issues 22, which is that beheading cover, and issue 20, which is the hanging cover. But you've also got a few others that are really kind of like picking up steam. This one, 16, and then 17, which is, let me think. 17 is like, I think, the gunshot cover. And then there's the strangling cover, which I think is like 19. But yeah, this one is super cool. Really happy to pick this one up. Definitely going to grading. So this one I will get pressed first, and I will get sent off for grading. And yeah, back cover is also very nice on this copy. You know, I checked out the back cover and everything on that one. All right, now the final two. This was one of the first vendors that I went and talked to, and then I went and kind of walked around. I was thinking about what I wanted to offer for these, because I wanted these books, but I still kind of want them at the right price. Came back, made an offer, and we were able to make a deal. And so this was from, I think it was Warthog Comics, where it was spelled H-A-W-G. They have a website. I think it was www.warthogcomics.com. I'll put that in the description to the video. He was a really cool guy. He had a lot of Golden Age stuff, so I really liked talking to him about comics. So first one that I picked up from him was this. This is a one-shot. This is Man O' Mars #1. This is a Maurice Whitman cover. On the live stream, I showed these books briefly, and I just completely blanked on Maurice Whitman. I don't know why, but I was talking about this with the guy who runs this shop, and we were basically saying, like, yeah, this is effectively like a Planet Comics, but a one-shot that wasn't from the Planet Comics run. I mean, this is what you kind of see in the later Planet Comics issues when Maurice Whitman was doing the covers. And this was actually, I had maybe like a 5.0 of this a couple years ago, and this is much lower than a 5.0. This is like a, I don't know, 1.8 or something like that. I had a 5.0 a couple years ago. It was one of the first Golden Age books I ever bought. And so whenever I see this book, this one always catches my attention. The colors just really, really up pop. Even though, I mean, yeah, it's a rough copy. It's missing some pieces on the spine, or on the corners, and spine is rough. It is attached, but yeah, it's rough. But yeah, I mean, colors on this one are just incredible. Love the, you know, you've got the kind of like the alien good girl art on there, the green, you know, Martian. But yeah, I think this one is really cool. Just happy to pick this one up. So I'll talk about what I paid for these after I show the second book. Second book, this is the one I was really after. This was the one I wanted the most. I've shown one of these in a recent unboxing that I got back from CGC. I have sold that book since then, but picked up another one. This is Strange Worlds #5. This is a Wally Wood cover. This is my favorite cover from the run. This is one of these, you know, sci-fi good girl art, kind of like super creeper alien, you know, on here. But Wally Wood, one of the things he's really known for drawing with women on these covers is like these like draping fabric. Like he has a really, he makes it look really, really good and realistic on these covers. So just something you'll see with that. And actually I've got Strange Worlds #4 is probably the biggest book from the run, even though I like 5 more. And it's, you know, you've got similar, this is also Wally Wood, and you can see that kind of like draping fabric look. And so this book is awesome. I have a graded 6.5 of this one, which is currently on my keeper list. This one, I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I've talked about it before. It's like, it's a single staple book. This one is attached at the back cover, not at the front. And so I don't want to send this to CGC. I've thought about it. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I'm afraid that that's the type of thing that they will detach. They'll fully detach, and then I'm stuck with this thing probably being like a 2.5. Maybe I get a 3. Whereas if it's attached, it's probably more in the 4 to 4.5 range. And so, yeah, I mean, probably 4. But yeah, I mean, this is a really solid looking copy. It's just the spine. You've got this, the issue with the staple there. But yeah, very, you know, this one's really cool. But yeah, I was really happy to see this one. I was surprised to see these 2 books on a wall. You know, like, these are not the type of books you come across all that often. And so I was really happy to see this one. Now, these 2, I think he had this one at $250 and this one at $895. I offered $1,000, came back at $1,050, and so we made a deal. And so, yeah, definitely happy with this one. This one you can also tell, like, page quality. I won't take it out, but page quality is really nice. You can see you can see the difference in the page quality there between these 2. This one has got more of that kind of like cream tan type coloring. This one is I don't know if it'll get white, but it'll probably be close. But yeah, actually, let's I'm gonna take this one out of the bag real quick. Kind of show some of the interior for this one, because this is a solid enough book that I don't mind, you know, just handling it. Certain books I want to be real careful when I'm handling, but the main issues so the front looks pretty nice. It's got that little piece out of the corner. The back also had some issues. The back is missing a piece down in the corner there, and there's like a little tear over here. I think it's probably around a 4. We'll get it, you know, this one I will get graded. It definitely needs to be pressed. Like you can see, it's got, I mean, it's glossy and all that, but there's just like a lot of like little dimpling and that kind of thing. Things that can be improved that can just make it look a little bit better. My last copy came back a 4, and it had different types of flaws. It didn't have any pieces missing, but it had more spine wear. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it got a 3.5, but still, like like, let's see the page quality on this thing. Like, page quality is really, really nice on this copy. But that's, yeah, I'll just show some of the interior, so you get an idea of the interior art on these. Always cool to be able to see some of these on the, you know, like the insides of these books, because a lot of times they're graded. Most of the time these books are graded, so you don't get to see the interior. All right, so yeah, so those were the 5 books. Like I said, so the Crime Suspense Story 16, $700. The Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, and this one together, so this was 80, this was 30. You know, those were both half off from their list price at that vendor. And then for these 2, it was $1,050. So all combined, $1,860. Really happy with my purchases. I thought it was great being able to come across some Golden Age books. It was a lot of fun checking out this convention, talking with people. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, saw some cool books. Make sure to go, check out your local conventions. You never know what you'll find there. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here if you'd like to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.